Alhamdulillah, ahmaduhu, wasta'inuhu, wastadihi, wastaghfiruhu, wa umminu bihi jalla, wa la akfuruhu, wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. As-salahu bil huda wa dinil haq, liyadhhiruhu ala din kullihi walau karihal mushrikun. All praise belongs to Allah. We praise Him. We seek His help, His assistance, and His guidance. We believe in Him and do not disbelieve in Him. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is His servant and messenger. Allah sent Him, that is Muhammad, with Deen al-Haq, the religion, the way, the methodology of truth. This way of life known as Islam will rise to its proper position in this world, whether the mushriks like it or not. Amma ba'd, fa inna asbiqal hadith kitabullah wa awtaqa al-ura kalimatul taqwa wa khayrul milali milatu Ibrahim wa khayrul sunani sunatu Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam wa ashraful hadith dhikrullah wa asanu al-kasasi hadha al-Qur'an wa khayrul umuri awazzamuha wa shayrul umuri muqtatatuha wa asanu al-hadyu hadyu al-anbiya wa ashraful maut katlu shuhada wa amma alama dalalatul ba'da al-huda wa khayrul amali ma nafa'a wa khayrul hadi ma utba'a wa shayrul amma al-kalb. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said the most truthful of discourses is Kitabullah, or the Book of Allah. The most trustworthy word is taqwa, or fear of Allah. The best of the communities is the community of Prophet Ibrahim. The best way of life is the sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The remembrance of Allah is the most glorious of all things. The best of all narrations is Quran. The best acts are those requiring the highest degree of will and determination. The worst acts are those based on innovation. The best way of life is the one adopted by the prophets of Allah. The most glorious death is the death of the martyr. The most wretched blindness consists of going astray after finding the right way. The best of the acts is ones that yield benefits. Best guidance is that which people may be able to follow. The worst blindness is the blindness of the heart. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Inna Allah yahmalu bil adli wal ihsani wa ita'i dil qurba wa yanha anil fashai wal munkari wal baghi ya'idukum la'alakum tadhakkarun. Allah commands justice, the doing of good, and liberality to kith and kin, and He forbids all shameful deeds and injustice and rebellion. He instructs you that you may receive admonition. فَمَنْ يُرِيدِ اللَّهُ أَنْ يَهْدِيَهُ يَشْرَحْ صَدْرَهُ لِلْإِسْلَامِ. Those whom Allah in His plan will to guide, He opens their breast to Islam. Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu attaqullaha haqqa tuqatihi wa la tamutuna illa wa antum muslimun. O you who believe, fear Allah as He should be feared, and do not die except in Islam. Wa tasimu bihablillahi jami'an wa la tafarraqu. And hold fast all together by the rope which Allah stretches out for you, and be not divided amongst yourselves. Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat lin-nasi tamuruna bil ma'rufi wa tanhauna 'anil munkar wa tu'minuna billah. You are the best of peoples, evolved for mankind, enjoining what is right, forbidding what is wrong, and believing in Allah. Aqulu qawli hadha wa astaghfirullah li wa lakum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala khayril mursaleen. Muhammadin an-Nabi al-Ummi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd, yaqulu Allahu ta'ala fil Quran al-Kareem. Inna Allaha wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi ya ayyuha alladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu tasliman. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Maulana Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, by the English meaning, O you believe, what is the matter with you? That when you are asked to go forth in the cause of Allah, you cling heavily to the earth. Do you prefer the life of this world to the hereafter? But little is the comfort of this life as compared to the hereafter. There's hayat al-dunya, this life, this world. And then fil akhirah, that is the next world, the next life. This world is, you might say, is real, and it has a time, maybe 10 years, maybe 100 years, but it's considered real. But this life is very insignificant compared to Akhirah, the next life. And this question or statement, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, O you who believe, what is the matter with you? What's wrong with you? What problem do you have that when you are asked to go forth in the cause of Allah, you cling heavily to the earth? That means this temporary life, this daily life, this short life, this unimportant life, right? What is wrong with you that when you are asked to go forth, fi sabilillah, in the cause of Allah, you cling heavily to the mundane things? That means you stuck in this life. That means you stuck in this world, right? But you are asked to go forth in the cause of Allah, but you stick heavily to the earth. Do you prefer this life to the hereafter? This is the question. And Allah is making that statement and a question. What is the matter with you? What's wrong with you? What kind of problem do you have? That when you are asked to sacrifice this temporary life for the permanent life, you cling heavily, you get weighted down, right, to this life, to this world. Then it goes on to say, unless you go forth, He will punish you with a grievous penalty and put others in your place. But Him you would not harm in the least, for Allah has power over all things. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now is talking about the ayats of what we call replacements. If you don't go forth, right, Allah will historically replace you with somebody else. Allah's hand is not tied, right? So if you don't go forth, Allah will replace you with somebody else. Now, I'm thinking about these demonstrations that we've been had here lately. They're all over the United States. And so, people have been calling me from overseas wondering and we'll have a little program tomorrow to give them an analysis. Our analysis. Because first thing one of them said, you remember your analysis 28 years ago, you said and it's all that. I said, of course I do. But now we're more accurate than 28 years ago. We're deadly accurate now. That's not bragging, that's just saying that if you remember, anybody in here remember what we have been talking about all along, you can take out your pencil and paper and check them off. 1, 2, 3, accuracy, right? This question is not for us. This question is for the people around us. I don't care whether you call them CARE, I don't care whether you call them the Muslim Legal Fund or what have you. With all the stuff that's going on, the people need leadership and the people need guidance. So with the thousands of people out all around America, guess who's absent in all of them? Have you been watching the news? Have you seen the Muslims? Have you seen the Muslims? What happened to them? You haven't even seen the mukmuks. I mean, you know, those people, you know. You haven't even seen the National Negro, right? Telling his people, go down and help the poor Negro justify himself. Oh, God Almighty. You haven't seen him. You haven't even seen the mukmuks the people down on the corner, have you? Why and how could everybody disappear just like that? Don't talk about CARE and all that. And don't talk about the Muslim Legal Fund, right? They're raising thousands. They're raising millions of dollars. And they're saying we're the premier, we're in the front rank of defense of Islamic causes and causes for the people. Well, where are they at now? Why you could go downtown and you couldn't see nobody down there that's Muslim? I take that back. One day we would see, out of thousands of people, maybe you might see one or two Muslims. And on one day, we saw a whole Muslim family. A whole Muslim family. And somebody would stop by every now and then, because we was out there with these, we was taking programs, we was giving, actually, we was having a teach-in. You know, teach-ins are like what they used to have on campuses and everything back in the 60s. But teach-in was to teach the people certain lessons. Number one, why are we here, right? They had to answer that question. Why are we here, right? Where are we trying to go? What obstacles would be put in our way on the way to where we're trying to go, right? As a collective. What are the political, what are the social, what are the economic influences, right? That might influence where we are, how we got here, and where we want to go. And so a teach-in kind of gave everybody a perspective for them to focus on what they're doing. If you notice those programs out there, there was absolutely no one with any focus at all. Why are y'all here? What do you want? Right? I'm here because I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here to show that I'm just tired of what's going on. And that's good. But what do you want? Right? What's your focus? If you don't have no goals, no aspirations, no reason for being there, they'll do you just like the Million Man March, right? Million Man March rolled in, technically I believe it was 2 million. Boy, they rolled in, them big garbage bags, filled them up full of money. Y'all remember them big black garbage, giant garbage bags? Filled them up full of money, and they was gone. And nothing never happened. People came from buses, from California, right? From down in Dixie, right? From all up in Maine, bus loads of people. And you could tell there was a hustle because, first of all, wasn't nobody coming. Then the Euro cranked up his news. Oh, so-and-so gonna have a million-man march. Ha, ha, ha. Ain't nobody gonna be there. And what did that make me and you do? Packed up in buses all over the country, and we headed for D.C. Right? They friends helped they. How they get here? How did 2 million people get here? I mean, the East Coast was empty. We had a Masjid in Philadelphia at that time, and I drove from Philadelphia to here. Southeast was empty of people. Philadelphia was empty. Empty. Wasn't nobody there, right? It was all down here. The whole East Coast was here. For what? A tone. A sound. Atonement. And nothing else. Right? Y'all remember? Right? Y'all remember that? So that means they have Hollywood, D.C., have learned how to perfect what? Demonstrations. Remember the Women's March? I bet there was 1 million girls here. And brothers too. The place was full. You couldn't get off the metro hardly. Here. Full of people. Right? But you could tell, oh, how did this happen? Well, one of the Muslim ladies, I thought I had a picture here. No, I didn't bring it. She just jumped up and said, well, I had a feeling and an aspiration to get all the people to come out for women. But you could tell something. You could see buses. Who could get out that many buses? Unions, organizations. It's all discipline. She can't sit at home one night and hit a button on a computer and fill up Washington, D.C. That don't happen, right? All the women came. They jumped up and down. And then the speakers, they had everybody from Angela to David, I don't know, they just had it loaded. They jumped up and down and they left. Right? What happened? Absolutely nothing. They have become very skilled, right, at calling out the people. Have them on the surface an expression, but you don't get nothing for it, right? You look at everything that's happened here in D.C. Look at this demonstration. People jumping up and down all over, not only all over the U.S., all over the world. You would think, my goodness, this is a great event. It is. In a way, that crackpot that killed that brother had a record. 17 or 18 times he been brutalized. So somebody hired him. They know if we get him, he'll take care of what we want him to do. And so they have release steam to release, right? But if you got steam built up, you have to direct it, right? So that you can use up your energy. You don't just open the valve and all of it go out into the air, right? All the people are doing, if you went down to those demonstrations, there was no program at all. And when we start coming every day, and the people start listening, they start beating the drums and walked in front of us 2 times. They wasn't beating them before, was they? Right? They started beating the drums and hollering and carrying on. Walked right in front of us 2 times. Right? Why? Because all we was telling them was what I just said. That this is a teaching. We're here to help you focus on why are we here? Where are we trying to go? Right? What is this all about? If we're trying to go to a destination, then we have to be focused on that destination, right? What did they do? You know, this demonstration here in D.C. is dying down. They might be dead. Let's say, we didn't go yesterday, but the day before, boy, it wasn't but a handful of people down there. Maybe it'll pick up this weekend. Allah knows best. But it don't make no difference. You know why? There's no focus. They don't have no reason for being there. And the people that got them out, group of ladies just jumped together, and 6 of them, and they just pushed a few buttons, and all these people come out. And all the people got water, and they got all of that, right? That's great. But it don't produce nothing. So there's an organization behind the visible non-organizer. You see what I mean? They don't have no agenda. They don't have no reason for being there. And they don't have nowhere that we want to go. Nothing that we want to get, right? We want to defund the police. They wrote a strip, Black Lives Matter. It's a big joke, right? It's a tragedy is what it is. What does somebody want to know our analysis of why did that thing happen? I say certain things are visible, clear. Number one, the brother, as he was being choked to death, he called out for his mother. That's number one. When does that happen? That's just at the form, just before the death rather. The mind takes you back to your most comfortable and safe period. That's what your mother. I've been in riots before. I remember hearing it clearly. Before somebody getting ready to get hit, mama, they trying to kill him. It's coming. It's coming. Well, I'll be truthful. It used to be common around white boys. Negroes, before they was stringing them up, they would call on Jesus. White boys would call on their mama. Because everybody's thinking back to their most comfortable, oh, Lord Jesus, I'm coming up to you. And they're sticking a rope around the Negro's neck. See what I mean? I'm just telling you psychologically. That's what, read the history. That's what people do. Why did brother call on his mama? Mama. Because he was remembering his last, just before he died, his last comfortable period where he felt safe. If you look at, if a boogeyman walk in the door and the mama's daddy there, who's the little child gonna run and grab their skirt? The mama. Because that's where he gets comfortable. Daddy is stronger. But the child don't know that, and the child know what gives it comfort, right? So the brother called out for his mother, right? These are signs. That means if you've been in war, if you've been in anything, you know these are signs of death approaching, right? The next thing is, my stomach is hurting. What is he getting ready to do? What happens when you die? Your autonomic nervous system relaxes, right? And you have a bowel movement, right? Everybody do it. When you wash bodies, the first thing you do, if there's not a clear bowel movement, you press on the stomach, right? But your muscles, it's called your autonomic nervous system. It's holding everything inside of you automatically. Right? And when it's time to come out, it'll come out. But when you die and getting close to death, technically, he was whispering his last breath then. When he calls for his mother, and when he said, technically, he don't know what he's doing himself, but he's ready to have a bowel movement. That means his natural body is already, technically, he's already gone, almost. Because he's shut down. Number one, the death rattle. Mama, That means that you close to death. The next thing, the mean old white man, right, got his hand in his pocket all that time. You see that? Now you got to get pornographic on this. What is he doing? Y'all ever heard of pocket pool? Have you ever heard of pocket pool? Y'all heard of pocket pool? The man have his knee on the brother's neck and he is holding on to his Johnson. That's what he's doing. Can't you see it? Am I lying? How deep is his hand in his pocket? That man is having a sexual experience right there and everybody's looking at it and don't know what it is. The man is dead in 5 minutes, so why did he keep it there for 3 minutes longer? Because he hadn't finished yet. Simple as that. That's what, look at it. Think I'm lying? Y'all been in the penitentiary, you know what pocket pool is. Negro go in the movie, sitting up there, and the girl's jumping up and down, he stick his hand in his pocket. Pocket pool, right? Look at the white man. He's a psychological idiot, right? The kind of people that get off torturing other people. They got people like that. You don't believe they exist, they do. They got people that are trained to torture, the School of the Americas. When I was in Iran, I would look at they had a prison, and the people would torture people with all kind of techniques, right? And they can torture you, and there's a lot of people, they get off. They're psychologically deranged. They're psychologically depraved. Don't pay no attention to me. Just look at it on your phone next time. See what he's doing. He don't ever move. He's got a death grip on that thing. Yes, he do. Look at him. Why he gotta have his pen? But how many people you killing them and you gotta keep your hand in your pocket? You're not waving your hand. You're not scratching. You're not doing nothing. He got his hand deep in his pocket and he ain't moving. It's pocket poop. It's pornographic. Now, a lot of people don't believe that there's people that go to work every day wanting to kill a nigga. You don't believe that, do you? That's because you ain't been arrested for that. That's all. If I show you my arrest record, you would know. I have had probably more contact with police, I know, than anybody in here. Then, I don't know, I don't even know anybody because I got arrested so many times. I could get arrested, get out, arrested, get out. On April Fool's Day, 1970, I was arrested 3 times in one day. How you gonna do that? Go in, get out, go in, get out, because you got the money. This is one of my last arrests. This was Oakland. This ain't long ago. I didn't have no clothes on. The police coming. This is the one that called the police. That's Mukhtar, Ali Mujahid. Handkerchief Head and Uncle Tom. Technically, he was the police. He gets off doing things to others. That's what kind of clown he is. Yes, he is. He's got those habits and customs. Because you wouldn't tell no white police department that a man is coming from D.C., he got 2 shotguns in the car, right? And you go outside and you look, and there's the military vehicles they got now. And there's a sniper team right in front of them, a few feet from you. Right? That's over and over again. Don't worry. We're going to take care of that. Who would do this to somebody? Right? Senior citizen. Right? Old man. Don't worry. We got it covered. Don't worry. We got it covered. But it looks gruesome. Why? Because it is gruesome. One thing you do is you learn about the system and the people. There are polices that go to work. Some of y'all been arrested. You can tell that guy, he want to whoop somebody today. And if he can, he wants to kill somebody. Can you imagine? How many police you think belong to the Klan, white citizens? All them other, right? They desire, they got cliques of them in all the police departments all around the country. They send into the police department. And then they got others who are just normally depraved. And they might come in the police department, want to do a little good, and then they get in there with those bums. They can't do nothing about it. Pretty soon they done join the club. Why do you think no police hardly tell on each other and all of that? Why do you think the man is laying there on the curb and ain't nobody saying it, ain't nobody stopping him? Right? Because those protection thing. We all in this together. I'm telling you there's a lot of pornography going on, but where are the Muslims in this? That's what the Quran is. Oh, you believe, what is the matter with you? When you actually go forth in the cause of Allah, you cling heavily to the earth. And look, here's what it's saying. We've had demonstrations in D.C. and da-da-da-da-da. And we've had tons of people come from here and go down there. Where are they at now? Why would it be a wide open direction for guidance, for hidayah, and the Muslims sit at home? Why? Why did they do that? And the people out there, and it's Black Lives Matter. You know, I was out in front of CARE. We was out in front of CARE several times. We had at least 4 or 5 programs in front of CARE. They had a Black Lives Matter sign up there. This is a few years back. We told them, take it out of the window. We told them in a microphone because they wouldn't let us get inside. Why? With 50,000 things going on, right, with us as a community, and they won't even come out and talk to us. We've been in all demonstrations and everything for Bosnia, UK, right? And they've been here talking, blah, 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 blah. But when you got stuff going on with the government, they won't come out. What does all that mean? That means that the government is running this show. When you got MANA, the big-time Negroes, y'all know who they are, Mellow Yellow and all of them. You see Mellow Yellow on Press TV, looking distinguished and talking. They had the last program they had down there in Chicago, McCormick Place. That's right, that's what it was. Black people. Just as the Muslims were to do this, and just as the Muslims were to do that, they could do da-da-da-da-da. And then the old Brooklyn Imam, he'd jump up and down and turn flips for 30 years, 40 years. Where they at when the people need them? They've been in demonstrations. They know the same thing we know. That these demonstrations, if they don't have direction, if they don't have guidance, they'll do like they're doing downtown now. Getting ready to fold up, go home, have a little coffee, Starbucks, tea, do crunches, and then roll out the yard seal. Nancy Pelosi and them, you see them children with, they had kente cloth on. They look worse than men. Kente cloths, they taking a knee. Look, this stuff is so crazy, you can't. And then in what was it? Yeah, in Las Vegas, they arrested 3 men. One from the Air Force, one from the Army, one from the Navy, something like that. They call them, get ready, the Boogaloo movement. And I'm at the TV, the kids wondering why I'm falling all over laughing. I can't, this stuff is so crazy. And I tell them, punch your phone in and see what it, you know where you punch Boogaloo. The Boogaloo, I said, good God Almighty, boy, this stuff is crazy. Isn't it? Tell the truth. They're real so-called terrorists. The Boogaloo movement, I said, boy, look at here. The angels was even laughing. I said, they can't, you couldn't make this stuff up. A Hollywood writer couldn't make it up. It's so crazy, right? Tell the truth. Nobody could make this stuff up. But anyway, if you don't go forth, Tanfuru, Allah will replace you with another people. Those people that prayed for all of this stuff to happen, when the world needs them, they go and they turn themselves into the shower and turn on the TV. I don't know what they do, but they don't go forward. I am willing to say that besides us, and I watched ourselves here, I looked at other demonstrations all over the country, and I didn't see the Muslims out there. If somebody did, just let me know. I mean, I know how they just had a camera here and the Muslims over there, and it didn't look like that. It looked like they were not present. And the stuff we was talking about, you think the newspaper was going to come or the TV was going to come and put their thing on us and ask us, well, what do you think? Somebody done told them, leave them niggas alone. They know what they're talking about. Right? They know what they're talking about. Right? They don't want you to be on. They don't want you to make a presentation. They don't want you to give any guidance. You see what I mean? I'm trying to tell you, this thing is cooked up just like a recipe. A recipe for nothing. You want to boil stuff and make a lot of steam, but it ain't nothing in the pot but boiling water? That's what the recipe is. Put a little of this in, boiling water. Put a little of that in, boiling water. And you don't get nothing. I'm just trying to tell you. That's where they're coming from. Let those fight in the cause of Allah who sell the life of this world to the hereafter. Now we're talking about an exchange. It's like a deal. You're going to sell this world for the next world. You're going to sell 20, 30, 50, 100 years in this world for eternity. Right? That's what it said. Let those fight in the cause of Allah who sell the life of this world for the hereafter. To him who fighteth in the cause of Allah, whether he is slain or gets victory, soon shall we give him a reward of great value. And why should you not fight in the cause of Allah? And those who are being weak, ill-treated, and oppressed, men, women, and children, whose cry is, our Lord, rescue us from this town, whose people are oppressors, and raise for us from the one who will protect, and raise for us from the one who will help. This is a cry of the oppressed for eternity, going back. O Allah, send someone to help us. Of course, you know the hadith. If you see an injustice, a wrong being done, stop it with your hand. Isn't that right? If you can't stop it with your hand, speak out about it. If you can't do that, at least feel bad about it, because that's the weakest kind of faith. Now, if you think about us, if you think about the Muslims in America, they have been praying for an opportunity to do something that would make the American people accept them and love them, right? You can tell the Muslims, they want love from America. What if something happens that put everybody out there? Now, you know they like white people, but they done killed a Negro and all the white people is out there, isn't that right? Tailor-made. Tailor-made. You get to stand up for the oppressed, and you get to rub shoulders with boss man's children, whom you love. You dripping at the mouth at them. Yes, you are. You know they are. They always have been. They can't help it. They just, oh. They come out, you can tell them, listen, especially they come from somewhere else. Tell the truth. You know that. They love boss man and his children. Good God Almighty. Now we out there by ourselves. You know what boss man's children are doing? Yeah, right? They clapping every time we say something. Yeah, they clapping. And we out there by ourselves, trying to give some direction. We're going to do our part. We don't care what they do. They can sit at home. They can watch TV. They can hide. I don't know what they was doing. They wasn't there. What's wrong? It's unbelievable. The whole world is out there. Everybody in Africa and Asia and the Middle East. I'm talking about in Europe and Scandinavia. You can't find a part of the world where the people aren't saying Black Lives Matter. You can't even understand what they're saying in German and everything, right? Black Lives Matter, right? Zika, Black Lives Matter, everything, right? You don't know what they're saying. They're saying, I think they're saying, Black Lives Matter. You know what I mean? Black lives everywhere. Can you imagine by the hundreds of thousands? Tell the truth, you can see it all day, everywhere. And the Muslims here, where they at? They ain't going to the Masjid because they're not open yet. This is most people I've seen in a long time. Right here. Did they open the Masjid yet? They ain't open them. They're not at the Masjid. They didn't have no Eids. They ain't doing nothing. They must be escaping. Hiding. They gotta be hid. I'm telling you, the Mukmuks, they had a 2 million man march. And you can't find them. Are they down there on Benning Road yet? All until this started happening, you couldn't get by it. Right? Being pied. Right? Whatever you need, you gotta go in the sack. You got, what's the thing you smell? We use them all the time. Incense. Incense? Incense? Being pie? Paper? Brother get killed? Black man? Let me get off the street. Right? I ain't about that. Something is wrong. And the dear Muslims, they get it handed to them on a silver platter. White folks. Just, and happy they white. There's so many white folks, they happy to see Negroes. You're a Negro? Yes, I'm a card-carrying Negro. I'm just making a joke. When I was in South Africa, I gave a school, a talk at a school, Voortrekker, like Voortrekker Rule, something that means pioneer school. That was after apartheid. All the teachers were still white. And the principal was white, but most of the students now was Black and Indian. So the old principal, he was talking to me. He said, you know, you're the first Negro that I have ever met. I said, yes, I am a card-carrying Negro. I'm telling you just what I told him. I said, I'm 100% Negro. I got 1/8 American Indian. You know, standard. I said, I am a Negro. You know, most people say, who you calling a nigger? A Negro. You know, they talk to me, he's stupid. I just have fun with him. I said, yes, indeed. I am a real Negro. A genuine card-carrying Negro. I give them on my ID. You know what it says? It says black, but it really means Negro. So anyway, no, you gotta have fun with these people. And you can't be getting mad because people, anyway, let's get back to the dear Muslims. Where are they at? Allah gave the thing. Allah, look, let those fight, yukatiluna, fi sabilihi. Let those fight who sell this world for the hereafter. It's a bargain. You're selling this world for the next world. What a bargain, right? And it don't make no difference whether you die, get killed. You can't get if you die, you become a martyr, right? And a martyr, only thing you have to do is somebody have to pay your debt, but you're going straight to paradise. Can you imagine? If you die, fi sabilillah, the Quran says, speak not of those who are slain in the way of Allah is dead, isn't it right? You can't beat that as a bargain. Of course, you got to believe it now. And why should you not fight in the cause of Allah? Those being weak, ill-treated, and oppressed. The word is mustadafin. Istadafa, from weak. Daif, from that. They're weak and they're oppressed. And their cry is, oh Allah, send us someone to rescue us from this town, whose people are oppressors. Those who believe fight in the cause of Allah, and those who reject faith fight in the cause of evil. So fight ye against the friends of shaitan. Feeble indeed is the cunning of shaitan. Feeble plan. Okay. Fight in the cause of Allah those who fight you, but do not transgress limits, for Allah loveth not the transgressors. Enslave them wherever you catch them, and turn them out from where they have turned you out. For turmoil and oppression is worse than slaughter. It's better to be killed than to be alive and watching your kids oppressed. Not being able to stand up like a man or represent yourself like a woman, right? It's better to be dead. That's what the Quran said. Now, a lot of people can handle it. They can just say, shoot, I'll take oppression anytime. In fact, some people get oppressed so long, they get used to it. They like it. And you come and try to tell them to unoppress yourself, they'll call the boss man. Boss man? Boss man. They did it in slavery, they do it now. Why do you think there's no Negroes standing up for Islam in America? What's wrong? With all these big organizations, what about all of those great speakers? The immigrants invite them and they speak all the time, jumping up and down and turning flips, right? What about when a black man gets killed? That's their tribal affinity, right? Oh, no. What if everybody in the world is out there except them? Everybody they love is out there. Got Latinos for justice. Everybody was out there. We're black too. All of those signs. Yeah. Where is your big time Muslims at all these conferences? They jumping up and down and talking and shaking the room all the time, all of them. Why? Where are they at when they're needed? That's a question we have to. So it goes on to say, but if they cease, Allah is all forgiving, most merciful, and fight them on until there is no more turmoil and oppression, and there prevail justice and faith in Allah. That's what you're fighting for. Until there's no more, the word is fitna. Until there's no more fitna in the land. Then it says, but if they cease, let there be no hostility except for those who practice oppression. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inna Allaha yuhibbul ladhina yuqatiluna fi sabilihi saffan ka'annahum bunyanun marsusun. We'll close with that. Allah loves, or truly, inna means this is for sure, specific. Inna Allaha yuhibbul ladhina. Allah loves those. There's a special affection from Allah to those who do what? Yuqatiluna fi sabilihi, who fight in his saffan, like a solid cemented structure. كَأَنَّهُمْ بُنْيَانٌ. Bunya is a building, structure. That structure is put together brick by brick and it's solid, and Allah loves those. Allah loves us who fight like that. But we got to sell this world for the hereafter. We got to cut out this little, this thing here is so transient. You know, some of y'all, I used to show you pictures of them big pretty cars I used to have. You know what? 10 or 15 years later, you know where you would find them cars? In a junkyard. Worthless. Pretty as they were. Bad. Ooh, that's a bad ride. It's headed for the junkyard. Right? Yeah. Everything you acquire physically here, it's going to collapse. It's the big pretty house, don't you worry. Stay alone around a while. Either it's going to collapse on you or your grandchildren. That house is going to collapse. They're going to have to rebuild something else on top of that boy, right? Everything in this world is going to collapse. It's going to float away. You could find it at the garbage dump in a few years. Right? It has no real value. It has a value that you put on it. Yeah. So anyway, as we said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الَّذِينَ يُقَاتِلُونَ فِي سَبِيلِهِ صَفًّا كَأَنَّهُمْ بُنْيَانٌ مَرْصُوصٌ. Allah loves those who fight in His cause as though they were a solid, cemented structure. The last thing I want to say is about alternative resistance, and I'll close with this. Alternative resistance, this is one of the things we talked about. Alternative resistance goes along with nonviolent resistance. But alternative resistance, in its simplest form, is masjid, synagogue, churches, right? They should solve the problems of society. Stop calling boss man and asking him for anything. Why? Because in the old days, religion was where you went when you ran out of money, zakat and all of that, right? That's what it was for. And all religions are based on charity, love for the neighbor, right? And the Sermon on the Mount, the meek shall inherit the earth. All of that stuff is to help the poor and the needy. Now the religions, they got the people, they got the ideology, love for neighbor, right? They got all of the ideology, and they got the money. If you want to see something funny, in Oakland, like a lot of my friends, we grew up together, they became preachers. Now, if you want to see the brother get laughed at, it's when I go tell them, hey, here's how we can solve this thing. You guys try to live like Jesus. Live like Jesus. He didn't ride a donkey when he went on Jerusalem. Jesus didn't have no place to stay. I said, yeah, that's right. What you do, you can still get a car, but still that big Benz, they all got Benzes and BMWs. That's the smallest they got. You mean you won't? Now they just look at how they're thinking. I'm a preacher because that's what I get. I said, what about serving the Lord? Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm serving the Lord, making a joyful noise. I said, we just raised $50,000 for the senior choir. They rose. So you raised $50,000, right? For the senior choir. So they got 4 or 5 choirs. For the senior choir, how many people could you feed? You know what? They never thought about that. They never even considered. And homeless people staying in their church, yeah, we can fix the homeless problem. We said we take all the churches in Oakland. I said, these group of churches, y'all do the opiates, counseling, and all of that type of stuff. for opium, heroin, whatever it is. Okay, the other, y'all do the homeless stuff. Y'all have, all the people that's homeless, either your big auditorium next to the church, or even, you know, the church is a sanctuary. Let them stay in the church. Imagine the churches around here with the poor people in them. All these middle-class Negroes right here. How do you think they would feel with those poor Negroes, white people, everybody, staying in their church? Their church is put there for them to sing, make a great, joyful noise to the Lord, not serve the Lord. If you love the Lord, then you save or rescue, right? His creation, his children, that's what it is. Praise to God and service to humanity, isn't that right? They praise God. That's all they do. They sing. And when the preacher comes, when they come, what do they talk about? Boy, the preacher really preached today. He didn't do nothing. He ain't gave nobody no chicken or no nothing. Tell the truth. He just preached. So, oh, good God Almighty. Right? And he danced sometimes. They used to, when I was coming up, boy, them preachers could preach. Boy, look at here. They had it going on. Of course, they drove Cadillacs in those days. Why? And the people so well trained, they want their preacher. Shoot, we don't want our preacher riding around them old, what they got them in toes and them old Chevrolets. That's what they, you know, they want their preacher. They want him to do that, and he wants to do it. And none of them are even concerned. They laugh at me. What? Big Hank, that's what they used to call me. They still do. Big Hank was over here the other day. That's them talking back and forth. And that boy, you talk about the Holy Ghost, he got something. I think he's still using dope because he come in here selling dope, something, because he won't. He was telling me, and then the one of the other ones I talked to, they laughing back and forth. But we're going to work on them. You know why? That's what the churches were put there for. To do good deeds, right? To collect wealth and redistribute it. It was there as a refuge. You know, in the old days, you could run in the church and hide, and the sheriff couldn't come in there and get you hardly. Can you imagine that? And the Masjid has always been a refuge. Right? Mecca is a refuge, right? All of these, that's what they're for. We done lost our whole concept of deen, of religion, whatever you call it. They have lost it. And we sound crazy. Tell them we solve all the problems. Stop asking the government for money. We can do this ourselves. What? They didn't got to depend on the government. When you needed money before, if you needed rent, if you needed sadaqah, that's what sadaqah was for, zakah was for, infaq was for. All of those was to help people. Isn't that right? And now, they don't have any idea of the purpose of deen. So anyway, and then the last thing. That means counseling. If you have a problem with husband and wife have a discussion, if you call the police gonna shoot that person or beat him up, right? How many brothers get killed because the wife or the girlfriend called the police on the brother? And it's goodbye, brother, right? So why don't you call the church? And the preacher come down. He on call all day, just like a doctor on call. He on call. That's what he do. He come running down. He may have a counseling crew with him, right? And they talk to the people. They calm them down. They get them back together. Or if they can't stay together that night, they separate. Come on down to the church for a day or two. Then come on back home after everything, right? That's the way a society should work. You don't call the police every time you want something done, unless you want a good killing. right? And then the police and the soldiers, we train the soldiers. The police, you train the police to hug people. They really don't. They say they got to hug. I said, yeah. You got police running, chasing niggas down. Well, they say that some of us have those psychological, well, they need a hug, right? Don't the white folks say that? The Negroes didn't get hugged enough when they were children. Isn't that what they say sometimes? Well, the police is trained, they chase the nigga down and hug him to death. You got enough hug, they're just rocking back and forth. Now that sounds silly, don't it? But it's what they ought to do. You want to get hugged by the police or shot by the police? You want the police to hold your hand and walk you around the corner and cool you down, or you want him to beat you upside the head, like all this stuff. Right? Which one? It's because they don't have vision. They don't dream enough. They thinking this is the only thing we can have, because they're not visionaries. And I'm going to close with this. Dream about the world you want to live in. Forget them people. What kind of world you want to live in? That's the dream. And then, after you visualize a dream about it, visualize it, then get missionary about it. Say, now we're going to work to put that together. Right? That's all it is. It's simple. Well, Lord, we seek thy refuge from anxiety and grief. We seek thy refuge from lack of strength and laziness. We seek thy refuge from cowardice and negligence. We seek thy refuge from being overpowered by death and the oppression of men. O Allah, suffice us with what is lawful. Keep from us what is prohibited. With thy grace, make us free from want of what is beside thee. Ameen. We come with this life.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.